everybody, it's Luke with Figure Me Out, and today we've got the King of the North from HBO's McFarlane Toys Game of Thrones series, and here's the front of the package. Nice clamshell packaging. There's the side, there's the other side with a little sticker with the Iron Throne and the Targaryen logo. On the back we've got the other guys in this wave. I've already reviewed Night King, and spoiler alert, I don't plan on picking up the other two because they don't look great in person. So there's the bottom of it, and I did pick this up at my local comic shop, Z's Comic Book Lair, and let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a look. And here he is out of the package. We got the King of the North, and let's take a look at the accessories first. There's, looking out of the package, there's some things I like and some things I don't like. One of the things I do like very much is the accessories. If this will ever focus here. So with it focused here, you can actually see the little dragon glass dagger. It's pretty good looking. It's got a nice little wash on the handle there. It kind of looks like antler or like a bone or something, so that's pretty cool. The other accessory that came with is going to be Long Claw, and that's pretty good looking too. We got that nice sword look to it, and then at the base there we do have the dire wolf head, so that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. The accessories, good. Now that we're focused again, we'll talk about Jon himself, and Jon himself, got a few issues with it, paint-wise, sculpt-wise, look-wise. So first off, let's take a look at this head sculpt here. Let's get really close and zoom in on that. And is it just me, or does Jon look like he's holding in a fart or a sneeze? He does not look great to me. He does have his little top knot. That's kind of cool. Very Keanu Reeves kind of vibe from him here. But, and I mean, it looks enough like Kit Harington, but something's just off. I think it's the squinty eyes. I think it's that he looks like he's looking off in the distance, you know. I mean, maybe if you put him in like one of these poses where he's looking off in the sunset or something. I don't know. Maybe the sun's in his eyes, but it looks like he has to sneeze. You know, it looks like he's holding that back like anyway. But taking a closer look at the rest of the figure, the face, I mean, it's, you know, the paint and everything is applied well enough. The chest, he's got the little Stark wolves on there, and those look really good. The patina on this, it really does make it look like metal, even though it's kind of a soft, like rubbery. You can't really see here, but if you look at the collar, it's kind of like that same material. It's a soft, rubbery kind of material, but it looks fantastic. That chest plate does. The arms and everything also look really good. This is actually two different colors. This is more of a black, and this is more of a brown. And you can also see in the elbow there just a little bit the articulation scheme. It's that McFarlane Walking Dead kind of ratcheting joint system. Not a huge fan of that, but you know, it is what it is. They said they were going to get better on future releases. I believe them. Looking at the back, that metal kind of continues because that's one little piece there. The skirt thing does kind of open, and there's little cuts in this, which are good because that allows for the articulation. There's a pretty good one on the front here, and then on the sides. I think it does still have, you know, the belt hanging down. It's very Jon Snow-esque, but and the texture on this is just phenomenal. The texture of the paint, nobody can ever, you know, criticize for McFarlane Toys for not doing a good paint job. I feel like that's where they really excel, is paint, sculpt. It's the articulation where they're normally kind of hindered, and the articulation's not terrible on Jon here. We'll go over that real quick. So taking a look at Jon, he can look. And I forgot to mention, his head popped off and his hand popped off. Like as soon as I got him out of the package, these things popped off. I was moving his foot popped off. Like every piece of him just kind of tends to fall off. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm rough with them. I don't know. If you want to look at that, the little ball pegs is kind of like a spiky ball peg kind of thing that holds that on there. And whenever you pop that on, it just kind of grips it in place. And then allows you to, it's like a double ball, there's one on either side, so it allows you to go up and down and have a little bit of pivot and all that. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. And so looking up, I mean, you can get him looking up a little bit, but every time I try and look him up, that head wants to pop off, so can't really do it too much. I think it's because that hair is hitting that collar on mine. I don't know if it's like that for all of them, but that's how mine is. He does look down a little bit. Stand by. He does look down a little bit better. And then the hair, you can see there's that gap there, but as soon as you pull the hair against that and it starts pinching, that's whenever the head wants to come off. At the arms, they go out to right at about 90 degrees, maybe just a little bit shy of that. They do a full rotation. There's no bicep swivel, but there is a single jointed elbow with a swivel at the elbow, and it does go into right at 90 degrees, so not terrible. Wish it was better, but hey. The wrist is the same as the Night King, where I can actually pop this off and get a closer look at it. So with a closer look at it, you can see it's actually that ratcheting joint type system with a peg at the end, so you can move that up and down, but then you can't actually turn that as well. Like with this arm, it goes side to side right now, but you can actually turn that with it in there, and then you can get kind of an up and down on that. So not a whole lot, because it is hindered just a bit by the robe there, or that whatever you call that, the shoulder wrist gauntlets. What do you call that? Pauldrons? I don't know. That kind of hinders that just a bit, but not too terrible. Just something to notice. At the waist, there is a swivel, so you do get a waist swivel. There isn't a crunch that I can feel at all. No ab crunch. The hips, however, they do go out to the side incredibly well. Jon Snow Van Damme, anyone? That was a terrible pun, and I apologize for it. But, needless to say, the legs do go pretty good there. There is not an upper thigh swivel. On the Night King there was, on this one's there's not. And you can actually look under, there's that same ratcheting joint type system. There's a single jointed knee, goes in somewhat not great. You're kind of getting back a little bit like that. Not, I mean, if you hold it up at 90, maybe 45 degrees, maybe. And then at the feet, they do go down, up, and there is a little bit of pivot like that, that bit that I showed you before. And last but not least, Jon does he holds his accessories pretty well. You know, they slip into his hands easy enough. He does stand up on his own, but it's pretty fragile. He's pretty easy to tip over, and then once you get him tipped, he's a little hard to stand. You really got to kind of play around with him. Of course, now he's going to do it fine. But I do feel like he's less sturdy than the Night King. I am glad that they came with this base, which is the last accessory. Just a plain base that says Game of Thrones on one side. 1 foot peg, because he's only got 1 foot peg at the bottom of his feet, and that's on his right foot. So I think that that is a good addition. For comparison, here's Jon Snow next to old Night King, and I do think he looks really good next to Night King. The more of these that you get together, the better they're going to look, typically, and I think he looks pretty fantastic. So who do you think's going to win between the two of these, huh? Jon Snow coming up to the Night King. Let's go ahead and... one quick note, I just had the dragon glass in his hand for a picture, for a comparison there, and whenever I went to pull it out, it actually broke. Yeah, there's that quality control. So, thank you, McFarlane Toys. So that's the King of the Norfff for you. Overall, not a great figure. Maybe... I mean, right down the middle, 5 out of 10, you know? I mean, just not great, not bad, but just not impressive either. Just sort of a lackluster. The paint's really good, the sculpt's really good, the articulation kind of blows. And just overall, the accessories, I mean, with that broken glass dagger, dragon glass dagger, not crazy about it. Like I said, I'm not picking up the other figures in this series because they don't look great. McFarlane, if you come out with something better and it looks better, I'll buy it. But for right now, this is where we part ways. But more importantly, the hype train is going to go off the rails soon because Game of Thrones premieres tonight after this comes out. So what's your hype level? Leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, let me know. Who do you think is going to be the King of the Norfff in the end? Who do you think is going to sit the Iron Throne? Let's talk about it. Enjoy that tonight. I'm going to pour me a Dornish Red and get to it. But in the meantime, you guys happy collecting.